Hi, I'm Monty McKinnon. Thank you for joining me. Today, I'm working on the bridge. I've got a number of pieces of wood that look like this. I've now cut them down to 6.5 inches in length, and I've drawn a center line so I know where that is, and you'll see why that's important in just a minute. Now, what I'm doing with this is I take this and I rough cut it to look something like this, and I do that on the bandsaw. The next thing I do, once I've got all that done, is I use my jig here and I make this. And this is what is going to become the bridge for the guitar. What I'll do now is I'm going to show you the router. Now, there's a couple of things I want to talk to you about pertaining to this router, and I'll show you the jig and how this sets up. So let's go over and do that right now. So here I am over at the router table. And I want you to see that this is the pin, this is the blade that's sticking up here. Right now it's up about 1/2 inch, and it's got down in here, there's just a little collar, and this then will run along that collar and give me this shape on the back of the bridge that we're going to use for our guitar. Now, some of the pieces of wood are just a tad bit thinner than others, and I'm not sure which ones I'm going to use yet or what I'm going to need. So what I've done to compensate for that is I've taken an emery board, because it's for filing your nails, right? And it's like sandpaper on both sides. So what I do is I put it down here on the bottom. That's going to raise it. Now, if I have enough room here, and I do, I'm good to just slam this down, slam that down, and we're good to go. The only thing is I put it in upside down here because I got my center line, and I want to make sure that I'm on the center, because on this jig I have a center line that's running up here, and because of this shape and because I've got a center line here on the piece of wood, when I put that into the clamp, it will go and shape. Now we're going to do a climb cut, and I'm going to be cutting it from the left side here, the way this spins, and climb up into here. Now I take a little bit of a bite each time, and I'll have to set this up 2 or 3 times. And I have another camera over here which I will record that and show it to you up close. Now, if you take too big a bite, you run the danger of splitting the wood, and that would not be good because I don't know where it's going to fly. When I do cut it this way, all the sawdust is going to be blowing off this way in this direction, so I'm going to have to turn the camera off and rely on the sealed camera over here because I don't want to destroy the lens. So that's what we're about to do with this right now. Not everybody has a router table, therefore this jig is great, but what do they do if they don't have it? Well, if you don't have one, you can go to people like Stumac, you can go to people like LMI, you can go to other luthier supply houses. You can buy a bridge from them already done, and you can get a replica of a Martin bridge if you want, and they have them, they'll sell them to you. So what we're going to do now, since we are making our own, this is going to be a multi-step process, and you've seen how we've gone from the square block. I've took the shape here, put the square block in here, ran the pencil along here to give me this, and I made sure that when I cut it on the bandsaw, I left more room of wood out in here so that I had somewhere here to take it away with the router. If I take it right down to the edge here, then this blade won't be able to fit in at all. So you got to be careful with this stuff. All right, so I'm going to do this, and we'll shut this video off and we'll switch to another camera, and I'll be back to talk to you more about this in just a moment. All right, let's have a look at this. Now, the next thing I want to show you, in order to make a bridge, which, remember, we cut all these templates out here just a few minutes ago, that's going to sit on there like that. In order to know which bridge you want to use, the height of it, etc., you need to put the neck on the guitar. Now, this is only sitting here now temporarily. I've just simply got it bolted in just to give me an idea. So I put this straight edge, and I can see that I am probably a tiny bit high. So I look at the guitar and I want to think, what is it that's causing this to be high? And what it is, let me get rid of the stuff here so we don't have an accident. You don't want to drop any of this stuff on your finish when you've got your guitar at this stage. Okay, so what is causing this to be high? You can see here, I don't know if you can actually tell, that's high by about a 60,000th of an inch. And this is what we refer to as the dreaded hump, where it comes up, and what some guitarists do, builders, they just put glue under there, clamp it down, and so in fact the neck is going to come up like this and then come down like that, and it's not good. I want this to fit perfectly in here. Now it fits, it's tight, but what we're going to have to do, and I know this because I've already put feeler gauges under here, I'm going to need to come back in here where it's nice and tight and take a little bit off this edge in here on both sides, so that the neck, if you will, which is currently sitting exaggerated like this, I want to bring it back up so that it's more like this. So to do that, we shave off a little bit here. Now, to do that with sandpaper is what we normally do in the vise, but it's tricky. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to sharpen the chisel, and I'm going to take it off with a chisel. Now, I'm going to do that. I'll shut the video off because I want to focus on this to get this right, and then we'll come back and talk some more, because what we have to do in the next video is take one of these, and we want to put the slots in it for the saddle, and then we're going to put the holes for the pins, and then we're going to start shaping it. So we're getting there. We're not far off. But where we're really at is time for a cup of English breakfast tea, if you will. And if you would be so good as to subscribe and hit the like button, get yourself a cup of tea. It's the best drink in the world. Well, actually, it's the second most popular drink in the world. It comes in behind water. Of course, it is mostly water, right? I know you like it. People write me all the time telling me they've converted from coffee to drinking tea. I mean, if you look at the age of the Queen and she just drinks tea, you gotta say to yourself, does she know something I don't? So get yourself a cup of tea. I think you'll like it. All right, I'm gonna wrap it up here right now. I'll see you in the next video. Stay around. Bye for now.